Okay, a very good morning, dear children. Today we shall continue our lesson that is in the kingdom of fools. Okay, you can take page number 21. When the merchant arrived, the king questioned him, "What's your name?" "Such and such, your highness." "Were you at home when the dead man burglared your house?" "Yes, my lord." He broke in and the wall was weak. It fell on him. The accused pleaded guilty. "Your wall killed this man's brother. You have murdered a man. We have to punish you." "Lord," said the helpless merchant, "I didn't put up the wall. It's really the fault of the man who built the wall. He didn't build it right. You should punish him." Okay. So now here the merchant arrived. The king started questioning him. First and foremost, he asked, "What's your name?" Then he said, what his name is. It's not mentioned here. Such and such means the name. What was his name? He mentioned it. Okay. Then he's asking whether you were at home. That is, the king is asking whether you were at home when this man died. Okay. And what the merchant says, "Yes, my lord." He says that he broke and the wall, that was weak wall, he broke it and the wall fell upon him and he died. Okay, so he says that you are a murderer. The king says now you are a murderer. Okay, so we have to punish you because it was your wall and the wall had fallen on this burglar. Okay, so he says that you have killed him and you have to be punished. "Lord," said the helpless merchant. Now this merchant is telling that I didn't put up the wall. So now he's saying that I have not built this wall. It is really the fault of the man who built the wall. So the merchant is saying that he has not built the wall. It is the fault of the person who built this wall. So he says, why should I be punished? He says, punish the person who has built the wall. Now here the meaning of the word burglar. What is burglar? Buckler? Huh? Buckle. Please tell me. Robbed. Okay. Buggles means rob. Buckler means a thief. Okay. So, who is he? My lord. This wall was built by my father's time. In my father's time. I know the man. He is an old man now. He lives nearby. The king sent out messengers to bring in the bricklayer who had built the wall. They bought him, tied hand and foot. "You there? Did you build this wall in his father's time?" "Yes, my lord, I did." "What kind of wall is this that you built?" "It has fallen on the poor man and has killed him. You have murdered him. We have to punish you by death." So, what we saw in in these lines that merchant the merchant says that I have not built this wall. This wall is built by a bricklayer. Now here who's bricklayer? Bricklayer means a mason. Have you seen masons? You must have seen near your houses. So if some new construction is happening, there is a mason, okay, who's laying bricks and building walls. Okay, all of you have seen. Everybody must have seen, and if you are also constructing your own houses and all, you will be knowing about the mason, carpenter, plumber, engineers, okay, architect. All this is needed to build a house. So here, the merchant says that the wall was built during my father's time, and that I have not built the wall. This wall was built by a bricklayer or the mason. So what they do, they the king orders. Okay, he says, go and bring this mason. So they bring him, and what they do, they have tied his hands and his foot. Okay, the people who went and brought this mason, what they did, they tied his hand and the foot of this mason. Then what happens? You there? Did you build this wall in his father's time? So he says, yes, I have built this wall during his father's time. Okay, so what kind of wall have you built? The king asks. Okay, you have built a very low quality wall, and this wall has fallen, and a man has been dead, and you are the murderer, he says. Okay, you have killed, and you should be put to death. So this was told again by the king to the mason or the bricklayer. Okay. Before the king could order the execution, the poor bricklayer pleaded, please listen to me before you give the order. It's true, I built this wall and it was no good. But this was because my mind was not on it. I remember very well a dancing girl who was going up and down the street all day with her anklets jingling, and I couldn't keep my eyes or my mind on the wall I was building. You must get the dancing girl. I know where she lives. Okay, so now here what happens? Before the king could order the execution, now here the meaning of execution is what? Punishment. Okay, execution means punishment. Okay, so now the king says that I'm going to punish the mason. But what this mason says, he says that I have, yes, he agrees. And he says, yes, I have built a poor wall. Okay, but that is not my mistake, he says. It is the mistake of one girl, and this girl was always disturbing me. And because I was looking at her, I couldn't concentrate on my work. And he says that this girl was going up and down, and that also she had anklets in her leg. Now, what is anklets? Girls have worn. I'm sure everybody has seen boys and girls. Yes? Have you seen anklets? Where they wear? In the ankle. Okay, chun chun noise comes, no, of the anklets. So yes, gungru. So now this noise was disturbing this mason, and he was so much distracted with that girl that he was busy looking at this girl only. Okay, and that's why he says that I constructed a poor wall. He agrees for that, and he says this is not my mistake. He says it is the girl who was going up and down. Okay, she had worn anklets and they were jingling so much, and this was always disturbing me, and that's why I constructed a very poor ball. So he says, you're right, the case deepens. Now, actually, the king thought that he only has done, has to be given the punishment. But now, what this Mason says that it is not my mistake, it's the girl's mistake, he says. Okay, so now the case became more complicated. Let's get the dancer wherever she is. Now, so what did the king order? The king ordered that wherever this girl lives, we have to bring her. Okay. Now, the dancing girl, now an old woman, came trembling to the court. Did you walk up and down the street many years ago while the poor man was building a wall? Did you see him? Yes, my lord. I remember it very well. So, you did walk up and down with your anklets jingling. You were young and you distracted him. So he built a bad wall. Okay, so now what happened in the story? Okay, now the mason was being distracted by this girl, and now he says, yes, I know where she stays. Now I want to call this girl. Now this girl, okay, she was not a girl now, she was an old woman. Okay, Now this old woman came trembling, very frightened. Why is she being called to the court? Okay, of this king. So she came trembling. And did you walk? Okay, and did you walk up and down that street many years ago while the poor man was building the wall? So the king asks her, were you walking up and down when this poor man was constructing this wall? And she also says, yes, I was. Okay, yes, she says, I remember I was walking up and down, and you were walking up and down, your anklets were jiggling, and you were so young at that time, and you distracted this young man who was constructing this wall. Okay, so she also agrees. So the first person was the merchant. Who was the second person now? Second person. Mason or you can say bricklayer. Okay. After that, who disturbed the mason? The dancing girl. The dancing girl. Okay. Okay. So first, the bugler says that it is a merchant's fault. The merchant says no, it's not his fault. He says it's the mason who has built the wall. Okay, the mason in turn says that no, it's not my fault. It's the dancing girl's fault. Okay, that she has disturbed me, and that's the reason I have constructed a weak wall. Okay, it has fallen on a poor bugler and killed him. You killed an innocent man. You have to be punished. Yes. So now they say that the king says that you have killed a bugler or a thief, and that you should be punished for disturbing the mason. So because of you, the wall has fallen and the person has been dead, and that's the reason he says that this dancing girl has to be now punished. She thought for a minute and said, my lord, wait, I know now why I was walking up and down the street. I had given some gold to the goldsmith to make some jewelry for me. He was a lazy scoundrel. He made so many excuses, said he would give it now and he would give it then. And so on all day, he made me walk up and down to his house a dozen times. So now, what happened? What is this dancing girl saying? What was the reason that made her to move up and down? She says that I am not a murderer. I have not killed. That day, I had given some to do some jewelries. Okay, to the goldsmith, and this goldsmith, he said that he was so lazy, and she calls him also scoundrel. Now here the meaning of scoundrel is what? A dishonest man. Okay. So she says that this scoundrel, this lazy scoundrel, he made many excuses. Means he didn't give her jewelry. He told her, "Come now. After 2 hours you come. After 3 hours you come." So that whole day, whenever he has told her to come, she was going to the goldsmith and coming back. She was going to the goldsmith and she was coming back. And that's the reason when this mason was observing her and he got disturbed. But it was the girl says that is not my fault. It is the fault of the goldsmith. He made me go up and down a dozen of times. She says so many a times this goldsmith made her to go up and down. Okay, and that's when the bricklayer she says that saw me and he was disturbed. Okay, so she says it's not my fault. So she says the not my fault, but whose fault it is? She says. Whom does this the dancing girl blames? Very good. She blames the goldsmith. Okay, let's move ahead. Poor thing. She is absolutely right, thought the king. Weighing the evidence, we have got the real culprit at last. Get the goldsmith wherever he is hiding. At once, the king's bailiff searched for the goldsmith who was hiding in a corner of his shop. When he heard the accusation against him, he had his own story to tell. Now, what happened? Now, the king said, yes, absolutely, we have got the person, that is now the goldsmith. So, he says that the goldsmith is the person who has killed the bugler. Okay, so he says he orders his men to go and bring this goldsmith. Now, this goldsmith, he says that he is the main culprit. Now, here the meaning of culprit is wrongdoer. Okay, culprit means wrongdoer. Okay, so they say that he's a culprit. So the goldsmith says, go and bring this goldsmith. The king says, go and get this goldsmith. Okay, the king bailiffs. Now here bailiffs is law officers. Okay, the meaning here is law officers for bailiff. Okay, so the law officers go and bring this bailiff. The goldsmith. Now, where this goldsmith was? He was in a shop and he was now hiding. Okay, when he heard the accusation against him, he had his own story to tell. So now they went, they bought him. He also had his own story to be told. What he says now, my lord, he said, I am a poor goldsmith. It's true. I made this dancing girl come many times to my door. I gave her excuses because I couldn't finish making her jewelry before. They had a wedding coming and they won't wait. You know how impatient rich men are. So now what happened? Now the goldsmith. Now Arpit, mute your system. Arpit. Okay, now the goldsmith had his own story to tell. Now the king's men, that is the law officers, they went and brought this goldsmith. Now the goldsmith also has got his own story to tell. He says, I'm going to put my own story. And what was his story? He says that, yes, he says, I made this girl come many a times. And why did I make this girl come many times? Because I was not able to do her jewelry. And this is the reason is that a rich merchant, okay, he was very impatient. He wanted his things fast. And I was busy making that rich man's jewelry, and that's the reason I couldn't make this dancing girl's jewelry, he says. Okay, so he says how impatient these rich people are. What is the opposite of impatient? Opposite of impatient. Very good. We always have to be patient, no? We also sometimes become very impatient. Yeah, so who was impatient? The rich man, the rich merchant, because he had a wedding in his house and he wanted his jewelry fast, and this made the goldsmith hold on for this girl, and this he was always giving her excuses, come now, come afterwards, and this girl, that's the reason she was going up and down, because the goldsmith was busy in making this rich man's jewelry. Okay. Who is this rich merchant who kept you from finishing this poor woman's jewelry? Now, this story was getting more and more complicated. Like it was going from one person to another person, from another person. Now it has come to the goldsmith. Now, what the goldsmith says that he was a rich merchant. So again, it comes to another person that is a rich merchant. Okay. Now here comes the fifth person in the line, that is again the rich merchant who kept, okay, who is a rich merchant who kept you from finishing this poor woman's jewelry, made her walk up and down, which distracted this bricklayer, which made a mess of this wall, which has now fallen on an innocent man and killed him. Can you, can you name him? So now again the king is inquiring, okay, from this rich merchant. He says, now you made this girl to go up and down, and that's the reason that the dancing girls are going up and down, and that's the reason the mason has constructed a poor wall. And because the mason has constructed a poor wall, that this wall has fallen and it has killed a person, and that the person should be, whoever is the has done the mistake should be punished. Okay, so uh, now what happens? Okay, the goldsmith named the merchant, and he was none other than the original owner of the house whose wall had fallen. Now justice had come full circle, thought the king, because to the merchant, when he was rudely summoned back to the court, he arrived crying, "It wasn't me, but my father who ordered the jewelry. He's dead. I'm innocent." Yes. Now what happened? Again, it went back, the whole circle went back to the merchant. Okay. Now this rich merchant was none other than, okay, the main person's grandfather. Sorry, father. It was his father. Okay, so now he says that again the original owner of the house whose wall had fallen. Okay, he is only the main person. So this is called as a circle. Okay, it came from merchant to the mason. From the mason, it came to the dancing girl. From the dancing girl, it went to the goldsmith. From the rich merchant, back it has gone to the original merchant whose wall has fallen. Okay, it's clear? Any doubt? No. Okay, let's move ahead. Then, now he again comes, okay, crying. Who? The main merchant. He comes crying and he says, "It's not built by me, okay? This was done during my father's time," he says. Okay, so, but my father who ordered the jewelry, he is dead and I am innocent. So he says that my father had ordered the jewelry and my father is dead. Okay, and I am innocent, he says. That is the first merchant. What he says, that the original merchant says that I am innocent. Okay, but the king consulted his ministers and ruled decisively. It's true, your father is the true murderer. He is dead, but somebody must be punished in his place. Who have inherited everything from that criminal's father of yours, his his riches as well as his sins. I knew at once, even when I first set eye on you, that you were at the root of this horrible crime. You must die. Yes. Now what happened? The king again had a meeting with all his members, that is his ministers. Okay. He had a meeting, he consulted all his ministers and ruled decisively. Now decisively means to take a decision quickly. To take a decision. Okay, so decisively, that means to take a decision quickly. It's true your father is the true murderer. So the king says, okay, your father is a true murderer. He is dead, but somebody must be punished in his place. Now they have come to know that who has to be punished. This person is dead, and but the king says no. Somebody has to die. Somebody has to take the punishment. Okay, so we shall say who has to take. Now you are inherited. Now who is this you? You is the merchant. So the king says that you have inherited, okay, everything from that criminal father of yours, his riches as well as his sins. So he said that his riches you have taken, as you have to take now all this, whatever his sins are. That is what was his sin. That he blames that this rich merchant has only killed the burglar, okay, and that everything you have taken his property, everything you have taken, so you have to take his sins also, the king says, okay. Now I knew at once, he says, who says, the king says that you are only the main culprit and you only have to be killed, okay, you must die. So this is what he says, the king says that you must die. Now who must die? The father must die or the merchant must die? Merchant, very good. Father is already dead. Okay, so he can't be punished. So he says, now you, that is the merchant, you only have to, you are the criminal and you only have to now die. As he ordered a new stake to be made ready for the execution. Now, what is the meaning of stake? Stake. A wooden post where a person was tied before being burnt as a punishment. So you understand what is the meaning of stake? Stake means a wooden post where a person was tied before being burned as a punishment. This is a stake. Okay, so somebody, a place where a person is being tied and then the punishment was given. They used to burn him or something like that. The punishment was. So this is known as a stake. So now what happens? See, and he ordered a new stake. So who has ordered a new stake? The king. Okay, the king has ordered a new stake. Uh, okay, ordered a new stake to be made ready for the execution. As the servant sharpened the stake and got it ready for the final impaling. Impaling means for the final fixing. Impaling means final fixing. Fixing. So they wanted to fix the stake. Okay, so that they can give the punishment to the criminal. It occurred to the ministers that the rich merchant was somehow too thin to be properly executed on the stake. He appealed to the king's common sense. The king too worried about it. Now what happened actually? Now when they the stake was made ready, okay, what this ministers thought? They thought that the merchant, okay, that merchant, this person, he is a very thin and slim person. Okay, so they think that whether this merchant should be put, okay, was somehow thin to be properly executed. So they felt that the execution will not be done very nicely. Okay, they wanted a nice person, and they saw that this merchant was not fitting in that stake. He appealed to the king's common sense. The king too worried about it. So now they understood that it is not fitting to this merchant. Okay, and so the king was also now worried. What shall we do? He said. When suddenly it struck him that all they needed to do was to find a man fat enough to fit the stake. See now what happened, how the story went. From this man, now they said that it is not fit for this merchant, so we shall find another man, another person who is little fat. Okay, the servant were immediately sent all over the town looking for a man who would fit the stake. And the eyes fell on the disciple who had fattened himself for months on bananas and rice and wheat and ghee. Yes. Now what happened? Now the king ordered that a fat man should be brought. So the people of the king went in search of a fat man. And whom did they see? They got this disciple. Whom did they meet?
Follower of Guru.
Yes, the follower of the Guru. He was nice, become fat. How did he become fat?
Eating.
Yes, he said, in this kingdom, everything is very cheap, and I'm going to stay here. And he ate and ate and ate. And what did he eat? Okay, he ate bananas, rice, wheat, ghee, and he had become hot, nice, and fat. And now the eyes fell on this man, and he was brought to the king. Okay. So with this, we'll continue. Stop here and we'll continue in the next class. Okay. Okay.